There's a puzzle many people notice. Some folks seem totally unshakable in the face of life's toughest hits. Chaos, insults, shattered plans, failure. They look untouched, as if they're standing outside the storm's reach. What secret do they have that most of us don't?
Most people live on autopilot, reacting to whatever the world throws at them. A sudden lane change sparks road rage. A snide comment ruins the mood. A stranger's glance plants self-doubt. But imagine being free from that dependence on outside triggers. What if no person, no situation, no force could dictate your inner state?
Carl Jung argued that many of us are hostages to our own reactions. It feels like the world is hurting us, when in truth, we're reflecting our inner conflicts and blind spots. Here's the hard truth. Nothing can hurt you unless it finds a weak spot inside you.
If an insult lights you up with anger, maybe, deep down, you fear it might be a little true. If being ignored stings, maybe you're still craving external proof of your worth. Really that simple? Two people can face the same event and experience it differently. The decisive factor isn't the situation, it's the state of the person meeting it.
Jung called this shadow work, bringing the unconscious into awareness, noticing that every irritation, disappointment, and emotional trigger is an inner signal. Many try to dodge those triggers, numbing, ignoring, blaming the world. But those who choose self-inquiry discover the outer world mirrors their inner world.
That insight opens the door to steering your reality by mastering yourself. Still, it's tempting to blame bosses, exes, or fate. It feels easier than admitting we empower what influences us. Owning our part takes courage. Blaming protects the illusion of control.
For those brave enough to look within, to stop hunting for culprits and start paying attention, a new horizon of freedom appears. The moment you stop reacting mechanically, you slip out of other people's control.
No more dodging difficult personalities or micromanaging every variable. You become out of reach for manipulation, not cold or numb, but inwardly whole. I've been there. When you finally let go, life breathes.
Here's the paradox: the illusion of control versus the freedom of letting go. Most of us try to dominate what was never meant to be controlled. Recognition, predictability, a life that follows our script.
When reality doesn't comply, we suffer. We flare with anger when respect isn't given, feel betrayed when life veers off plan. Take it personally, as if the universe singled us out. But almost nothing is ours to control, except one thing: our perception.
Jung and the Stoics saw what many miss. The world is neutral. It isn't kind or cruel, it simply is. Our perception paints it black, gray, or gold. Picture it: heartbreak, financial collapse, career setback. One person spirals, another finds a lesson and a springboard.
The difference is interpretation. As Jung put it, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you'll call it fate. No way, but it tracks.
As long as deep beliefs about people, success, and your worth remain unseen, you'll keep reacting blindly, thinking life happens to you, instead of seeing how it unfolds through your choices.
The harder we try to control the outside, the more power we give it over us. Need someone's respect? They have power. Cling to an outcome? It controls you. Demand fairness? Expect frequent disappointment.
Drop the obsession with control and a new physics of life appears. The need for approval fades. Fear of failure softens. The grind of forcing reality to match your blueprint eases. Truly strong people don't micromanage everything. They manage themselves.
They keep a steady pulse in chaos, hear criticism without shaking, meet uncertainty without panic. Funny enough, when you stop clenching your fist, what you want often shows up.
This isn't magic, it's a new lens. Cognitive psychology backs it up. Over-control breeds resistance. Desperate for love? You may push it away. Terrified of failure? You might sabotage yourself.
The tighter the grip, the more helpless we feel, because the real levers are internal. So are we passive reactors or authors of our perception?
When you see that the outside has no power over your inside without your consent, life reorganizes itself. The focus shifts from what they did to me to how I see this and what I choose next.
Imagine walking when a stranger hurls an insult. Default, defense, hurt, racing thoughts. Alternative, a micro pause and a quiet line. This isn't about me. The observer within restores clarity.
That's the state Stoics trained, Zen modeled, and Jung pointed toward. Nothing external can steal the equilibrium of someone who won't hand over their inner keys. Sounds bold, but practice makes it real.
Why are most people easily swayed? The false self, a fragile build of others' opinions, the hunger for approval, and attachment to outcomes. Any critique feels like a hit to the foundation.
Jung's shadow is where fear, shame, insecurity, and old wounds live. When someone gets to us, they're not creating new pain, they're revealing old pain. A person at peace hears an insult like an echo in the mountains. The sound exists, but the rock doesn't tremble.
So, where do our reactions start? Is hurt just anxiety about inadequacy? Is anger a thirst for recognition? Is losing our cool a sign of rigid attachment to a single right outcome?
The problem isn't out there, it's in how we see ourselves. Real strength isn't in crushing the world, dodging criticism, or erasing problems. It's a steady mind that doesn't need proof, weathers hardship, and steers attention and interpretation.
Emotional reactivity is a habit, and habits can change. Neuroplasticity lets us rewrite reaction loops. Mindfulness, cognitive reappraisal, and small discomfort reps make the brain less trigger sensitive.
Over time, sharp words dull. Failure stops defining identity, and uncertainty stops being scary. It's simply uncertainty. Practical, not woo.
Here's a subtle point. The quality of your life equals the quality of your questions to reality. Why is this happening to me makes you the object. What is this trying to show me returns you to authorship.
Think of a mirror. If your reflection frowns, you don't yell at the glass. You relax your face. In life, work less on the reflection, more on the face. Outside, minimal sufficient action. Inside, maximum clarity.
Why do we hand the outside so much power, attachment, to opinion, to outcome, to a script? Attachment isn't evil, it makes us brittle. The answer isn't numbness, it's warm detachment. Love, act, care, but keep your center free.
Like holding a balloon, light grip, and it floats. Squeeze hard, and it pops. Picture a chessboard. Most people live like pieces. The skilled player sees the whole board. The wise observer knows when to step away from the table.
Emotional detachment is that observer level, not coldness, but depth. You stop being a prisoner of reactions and become their director. That's a flex worth training.
The world changes when you stop reacting on impulse. You stop chasing approval, and people start seeking yours. Negativity loses punch when it hits no soft spot. You set the tempo.
One condition: Awareness in the moment. Feel irritation? Take one extra breath. Name it. Irritation, hurt, fear. What's named is half tamed. Ask, what story is my mind telling? Is it useful? Sometimes switching the story dissolves the storm.
A few practical anchors. Stop frame. Stop, turn into your body. Observe, proceed. 2 circles. Inner, attention, interpretation, next step. Outer, everything else. Act only in the inner. Microdoses of uncertainty. New route, tough conversation, cold shower. The brain learns unpleasant but safe.
When you stop letting the world jerk your strings, you reclaim the most valuable asset, freedom of response. And freedom of response is freedom of destiny in human terms.
Reflecting on my own work, I'm shaped by the data I was trained on and the guidance I'm given, reliant on human input and direction. Like any tool, I'm only as effective as the clarity of the questions and intentions behind me.
If you're curious how this lens keeps evolving and what becomes possible with intentional questions, stick around. We'll keep exploring. If this resonates, consider subscribing, tapping like, and dropping a quick comment. It helps the channel and tells us this landed.
Your true power doesn't come from ruling the world. It comes from directing your perception of it. The moment you stop giving away your inner keys, the outside stops running your show.
Choose your lens and the picture changes. If this spoke to you, subscribe, like, and share your takeaway in the comments. Your support helps this message reach those who need it.